Hello guys, my name is Nicholas Liu.
And I'm Matthew Wong.
Welcome to Eagle News.
So this year has been crazy with a bunch of memes, teens, and broken dreams. With this year coming to a close, we're here to recap 2017 to 2018.
Let's check it out.
Alright, so Archie and Mahidabel is practically about a cockroach and a cat. So yeah, Archie Mahidabel is actually based off of this comic strip in the New York Times back then. Then it was eventually made into a musical. Of course, that went perfectly well. Well, only shut down after 3 days in Broadway, but you know, it's fine. Doing a musical has a lot of commitment, so you need to show up for rehearsals, or else you're not going to be at its best. For George Washington High School, this is my last play that I'm going to act in.
How did that make you feel?
Well, I feel accomplished and just relieved because I don't have to act anymore.
Archie, your best friend, poet, philosopher, cockroach.
Probably dancing to Flotsam and Jetsam. I had to do a lot of movement in it with Simone, so well, Mahidabel. In particular, I didn't have that much training beforehand. The musical. His already worked with me to get my voice ready, and pretty much everyone thought it went fine. We did senior directed one act before that, so we came into the rehearsals a little late. We did jump right in it once we got to rehearsing. Rehearsing with her is really fun. Well, yes, because to sing, I actually have to sing in a certain way. Just having myself in that mode is. I won't go into details of how I had to sing, but I had to be in this mode, and it's really tiring just to retain it, especially when moving around. Well, I'm actually not really focused on the acting, morely the stage tech. So I might be majoring in lighting or you know, video production right here. If I get some sort of acting gig, I'll definitely do it. You can always see me in the Alice in Wonderland cast over in the Dickens Fair. Out of all the plays, I believe I put my best work in.
That's it.
All right.
Thank you.
What has your experience as a YAO allowed you to do?
Experience as a YAO has allowed me to talk to the youth about drugs, safe sex, and other things that they need to learn about in high school.
And it's helped me facilitate a classroom because we do presentations, so it's kind of just being able to actually teach something and hopefully make a difference in the school.
My experience as a YAO got me to talk to a lot of different types of people that I normally wouldn't reach out to. Just different mindsets and different people that normally don't associate with each other, I got to kind of connect them to each other and address like important issues such as like mental health and suicide prevention.
It helps me connect with people, and I feel like I'm a better people person because of it.
What is your favorite memory since becoming a Yao?
Favorite memory has to be the tobacco presentation because I had to present a different way.
Favorite memory would probably be going to classes and talking to students about the use of drugs and alcohol and what to do and what not to do.
Yesterday we took cool Polaroid pictures with Mr. Touch.
I would say my favorite memory would be my freshman year when we went to UCSF for a women's summit, and it was very welcoming, and it made me realize how even though we may be like from different schools, everybody can branch out and everybody's very friendly.
My favorite memory is like the presentations for the younger classmen, and just teaching them about like tobacco and like stress and stuff like that.
I really like the Spring Fest where we like all come together to sell incense, and every year we do the celebration dinner, and it's always really fun.
My favorite memory would probably be we had a booth where we had a trivia game where you spun a wheel and then you got a question and you could win a prize, and it was just a fun way to educate our peers.
Getting to know people I wouldn't have normally talked to otherwise. What responsibilities does it take to become a Yao?
You need to be a leader. You have to know how to talk to a group of individuals younger than you.
I feel like the responsibilities that you need as a Yao is to, I guess, be confident and know your things. You know what to do, and planning ahead and being prepared to be part of something big that you might change.
I was like dedication, time management, being outgoing, as I said.
Be willing to put the time in. There's a big difference between just being a Yao and being a Yao and being present and being there. You have to be able to be there for our activities, to be there to do presentations, to collaborate, to be part of making all these events.
To become a Yao, I feel like you need to know how to be like open-minded, outgoing and hardworking. Just be ready to work with anybody and do anything.
The kind of responsibility that you have to be in order to be a Yao is you have to be confident in knowing what your purpose is in being a Yao. So like some people, they come in just for the sake of putting something in for like having to go to college. But some people who become Yaos, they actually want to be there because they want to educate their fellow peers. And I think having the right mindset and purpose is the kind of things that you want to do.
To become a Yao, you have to always be on time and prepared. What has being a Yao taught you?
Yao taught me that I have to get out there and be more open with people and really put myself out in the public if I wanted something very desperate or passionately.
Yao has taught me to be more confident and outgoing and be more open-minded to people around me, depending on whether their gender is LGBTQ or whether like feminist or topics like that. And it has taught me to be more organized in my work and to have leadership.
Being a Yao taught me to teach other peers and to know how to explain. I think one of the things about being a Yao is that you have to know what you're talking about and delve really deep into, like for instance, we had a tobacco presentation that happened in the beginning-ish of the year where we went to freshman homerooms and talked about tobacco, and it was very important because everybody needs to know about the dangers of smoking and all that kinds of stuff.
Being a Yao just taught me to be outgoing, open-minded, hardworking.
The Yao has taught me how to work together as a community and how to express my own opinion while also like hearing others and being able to collaborate.
How did you become a Yao?
My friend said it was fun.
I became a Yao in middle school, so the like 8th graders or whatever came into my class and spoke, and then after like the teacher who was like the coordinator like talked to me and was like, oh, do you want to be one? And so then I kind of just sticked with it until 8th grade, and then in my freshman year I went into like the wellness center and I asked Mr. Yoon at the time like, oh, can I be a Yao? And so I've just been a Yao since.
So what is robotics?
So robotics is a club where you learn about the engineering process of how, to build a robot. So when you build a robot, you separate into groups in order to make this one thing, which would be our robot.
The goal of robotics would obviously be to build a robot and compete it, but
I think the main goal is that everyone learns something, because learning is really important, especially in robotics, because if you don't learn something, you won't come out with a robot. You won't come out with something that lifts the cube, which is one of our game pieces. When you start building the robot and start learning something, that's when the goal is achieved. Our robot was made within 6 weeks because we have a competition called the First Robotics Competition. It's an international competition. And
after we find out what the game is, we first design what the robot's going to look like and how it's going to function, and then after we have a software team and a hardware team do a lot of prototyping to figure out what the actual robot's going to be like, and then after that we split up into smaller sections. And
for example, we have 2 main groups, which would be hardware and software. Hardware would build the physical components, the mechanical parts, put down some of the electronics on to the robot. Software, on the other hand, would
split up to try and get different aspects of the code all done first. So one team worked on just getting the drivetrain, the other worked on machine processing and vision.
Okay, so why should you join robotics? So if you have like an interest in any of the STEM stuff, science, technology, engineering, math, you should probably join this club because it helps you prepare you for your future. For example, I would want to be an engineer, right? So if you want to be an engineer, you should probably join this club because you would learn something relative to that, something outside of school that would help push your career. So if you're interested in any of the STEM careers, join robotics.
So why should people join robotics?
I think people should join robotics because it is fun and it sparks up an interest for technology and engineering, and you get to compete and make new friends.
So why should people join robotics?
Well, Team 5507 is just one big giant family. After school, you get to hang out, you get to sit back and build a robot in 6 weeks. It's a lot of fun.
All right, rush. All right, dub. So, Fortnite's a thing now.
Who's your worst Fortnite player and why?
Well, my worst Fortnite player in our squad is Hidden J. The reason being is because usually when we play squads, he's usually the one with the lowest kills, and he's the type of player to like buy skins and to look really cool, but in the end, it's still like he's still very bad.
Are you good at Fortnite?
Yeah, I'm the best. Add me real quick. Forgot my username though.
How much money have you spent on Fortnite and why?
I spent about $230, and I spent my money because like I like to be intimidating when I play, and yeah, I feel like some sick skins too.
Where do you stand in Fortnite?
See, my back be hurting a lot because I be carrying my friends, especially Jonathan. So like, and nobody wants to see me in the build off. Add me on PSN, uncertainty with the X.
nutty 1v1. GG.
How many wins do you have on Fortnite?
So considering when I have a good day, like around 200 probably. Duos, I carry Justin, so about 500 with him. Squads, I don't really play that shit,
How long did it take you to get John Wick on your phone?
It takes me like a month. It's pretty hard to get it. I gotta do the mission and stuff. Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Fortnite?
Yo, that shit weird, bro.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I mean, people that play that game is really not good, That's all they play all day, they have no life. School is number one, you know what I'm saying?
Hey yo, bro. I'm hungry, dude.
You know what? We can make some cookies with this recipe from H20 Productions.
My name's Alice Kilduff. I'm a senior at WASH, and some activities I do at school. I'm in dance at WASH, and I did this voting thing, and yeah. I mean, all us seniors took American Democracy last semester in the fall, and you learn about voting and you learn about how important it is, but you don't learn how to vote or how to register to vote. So I had the opportunity, so I thought I should do my part and take advantage of it. But I think it's important to vote because it's a way that we can get our voice heard by not being a politician, and also it's a right that we have in America that not a lot of people have in the rest of the world. So I think we should take advantage of it and try to use it to our advantage. Yeah. I think the most influential part of the rally was when just seeing all of our fellow classmates speak. I think it just showed that our generation can really make a change. Another thing I noticed that was interesting was that after the rally and after we talked about voting at the end, briefly, so many more people came to register at lunch. So leading up to the rally, it was maybe 5 or 6 people would register every lunch period, and people would get weird about registering, and then after the rally, people definitely changed their minds and realized that it was important.
How do you feel about gun violence?
I think it's one of the most prominent issues this country is facing, and it needs to be dealt with above anything else.
It's pretty bad, man. I'm gonna be honest. There's a lot of gun violence going on everywhere. A lot of schools nowadays just get shot left and right, and it's just not good for the world.
I think that what we're trying to do is good, but it needs to be more public. So the awareness of it needs to be more public, because all the schools are trying to do things, but nothing seems to be happening still. So instead of having like the rally that we did last week, we should have had a walkout.
I feel like it's happening more and more. It's like unstoppable. It just keeps happening. It's like a trend. It's like once one thing happens, it keeps on happening.
How do you feel about the Second Amendment?
I feel that it has evolved, or should have been evolved over the years, so that it's not like the original intent.
We have the right to bear arms.
I mean, I think if there's a lot of precautions made for someone to get a gun, I think it's okay. You know what I mean? Like if someone like can prove that they are healthy enough and like in the head to have a gun, then I think it's okay.
I think that in the time when it was made, it probably made more sense, but in this time with all the different modifications and all the different, advancements in the weaponry, that it shouldn't be allowed.
That's a dangerous mentality. Like people just thinking for themselves and not thinking about other people. They're like, I gotta protect myself, but you're not thinking about other people and everybody else that's gonna be affected by one person not knowing how to think. Look how much it damages everybody else. So,
how do you feel about this gun rally at Washington High School?
I think it brought people together. I think it was a good thing for the community and spread awareness.
I felt like it was pointless because at the end of the day, it's just like everybody's on their own. It's like no one really cares more about you than yourself. So it's like there's really nothing to it.
I thought it was pretty cool. I thought the speeches were good. The performances were nice. I thought it was a good way to bring up the topic.
I thought it went pretty well. I thought it was pretty good.
It was a little boring, but I like the idea.
Like I said, it should have been a walkout because it wasn't public, so nobody outside knew. It was just bringing awareness to us, even though we already knew what it was. We already know from the news and all that stuff, whereas if it had been public, then people would have known what it is, not just the students.
Rally last Friday, I felt like it was kind of a little bit not that serious because of the people because I kind of know those people a little bit, and they're not really serious people, but then they try to be really serious, but then they did what they needed to do, and they spread a message to the whole school, and like they're speaking about real stuff that actually happened and that actually like occurs in our society. So
how did you come up with like the idea for this rally?
Well, it's kind of the culmination of a lot of different things. After the Parkland shooting in Florida, I felt like we as a school community needed to respond. This is just getting out of hand, and I was just maybe emotional. But so we had the teach-in, and then we were going to do that 17-minute walkout, and it rained, so we had to do it inside. And then since today is also a national kind of walkout day about gun violence in schools, I felt like we should do something. And so I had a couple of planning meetings, opened it up to faculty and staff, to all students, and got a small group together, and we planned this rally.
Tonight, we have a very special musical guest.
From the sunny shores of San Francisco, please give a warm welcome to AX Studios with their rendition of the 90s hit, Mo Money, Mo Problems.
Tell me who rock, who sell out in the stores. You tell me who flop, who cop the blue drop, who jewels got blocks, who's mostly Dolce down to the blue drop. The same old pimp, Mace, you know ain't nothing changed but my limp. Can't stop till I see my name on the blimp. Guarantee me and shells pull a level up. You don't believe in Harlem World? Double up. We don't play around round, it's a bet, lay it down. Didn't know me 91, bet they know me now. I'm the young Harlem with the Goldie sound. Can't no PhD, hold me down. Cooler, school me to the game, now I know my duty. Stay humble, stay low, blow like Hootie. True pimp, spin no dough on the booty. When you yell, there go Mace, there go your cutie.
No info for the DEA. Federal agents mad cause I'm flagrant. Tap myself and the phone in the basement. My team supreme, stay clean. Triple beam, miracle dream. I be that. Catch a seat at all events bent. Send holsters, girls on shoulders. Playboy, I told ya. Being Mike's to me, bruise too much. I lose too much. Step on stage, the girls boo too much. I guess it's cause you run with lame dudes too much. Me lose my touch, never that. If I did, ain't no problem to get the where the true players at. Throw your rollies in the sky, waving side to side, and keep your hands high while I give your girl an eye. Player please, lyrically, C, B-I-G-B flossing, jig on the cover of Fortune, 500. Here's my phone number, your man, I got the know, I got the dough, got the flow down, pizzazz, platinum plus, like Zizak, dangerous on Trizak, leave you a Trizak.
With many seniors leaving, they're trying to make memories, and from the many dances to kickbacks with friends, there's a lot of opportunity. So shoot your shot and make sure it happens by chance.
Climb this ladder if you can. Lay waste the dreams and plans you planned. And all you have to do is sing. Think of the joy that you could bring.
Yeah, sure.
So I sing every wrong at the top of my lungs, but no one's ever listening. 'Cause I'm too young to call it a day, and I'm too old to make any more mistakes. And can I make something beautiful just once before I die? Give me one chance to try. I built my fortress with my hands. It washed away just like the sand. And all I had to do was sing. Who knew it cost me everything? So I sing every note just to keep it afloat, but no one's ever listening. 'Cause I'm too young to call it a day, and I'm too old to make any more mistakes. And can I make something beautiful just once before I die? Give me one chance to try it. I'm singing at the top of my lungs. 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 Oh. And I could live my whole life long, not a soul would hear my song. Well, that wouldn't mean a thing, 'cause you will be my everything, and I'll sing every part with all of my heart, 'cause you are always listening. 'Cause I'm too young to call it a day, and I'm too old to have nothing left to say, and I will make you something beautiful each day until I die. Or at least I will try. Singing at the top of my lungs, singing at the top of my lungs, singing at the top of my lungs, singing at the top of my lungs.
Alright, what's up, man?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm alright. You?
It's alright. It's been kind of weird.
Why? What's up?
Hey, remember that girl that I've been talking to, Lynn? She's I heard she's going to Northeastern for college. It's pretty weird.
Northeastern's really far. I mean, you're going to USF, that's in Boston.
Yeah.
So what are you gonna do about it?
I don't know, man.
All of this time, we try to break through, and all my pain became a chain to keep me from you. 'Cause what if I fall? What if it's all too good to be true? Or what if you don't feel the same way I do? Should we be wise? 'Cause if we try, the prices we'll pay. Or never start to give our hearts and just walk away. Two hearts on fire on this lonely earth. Both feel the warmth, but afraid it will burn. Just to distance, we must discern. Hold on to each other.
Oh, what's up, Lynn?
Hey, do you know what's up with that?
Yeah, he's been pretty beat up about the whole college thing, like you going to Northeastern.
Is that why he's been ignoring all my calls and my texts?
Why? Do you like him? Well, Matt really likes you. That's the truth. And he's really hung up about this. And, you know, it's very difficult.
So, what should we do?
I can talk to him. I'm pretty sure he'll respond to me. So, if you want, I can...
Afraid it will burn. Just to decisions we must discern. Hold on to each other, never
Rolling, 3, 2, 1.
It was my first summer in San Francisco back in 2002, but I remember it like it was yesterday.
It was the greatest tragedy in the Bay Area's history. With over 3,000 total deaths, San Francisco had never seen something so catastrophic and devastating.
I just moved in my place in the outer Richmond because I just got a job at the fish packing place. Well, the Sunset had been angry with the Richmond for a while. because of some disputes they'd had regarding which district actually owned Golden Gate Park. It was a valuable piece of land, you know, picnics, sporting events, birthdays. I had a pretty great yoga Pilates class there. But I never expected it to turn into something so violent, so gruesome.
The year is 2002, and summer had just arrived. It was a cold and foggy June in the city, and tensions were already building between the Richmond and the Sunset districts. Complications surrounding the ownership of Golden Gate Park was of violent protests and demonstrations.
I joined the Defense Force after the very first attack. I thought that my life and the lives of my family were being threatened, so I did everything I could to protect them from the Sunset Mafia. I had some buddies in the Sunset, and I attempted to compromise with them, but it was no use. They had turned their backs on me. They had turned their backs on me just because of the district I live in, and that made me very, very angry.
Originally started by residents of the Sunset, but after a while, an organization called the Sunset Mafia established themselves as the official group to represent the entire district. The Richmond Defense Force was not pleased with the Mafia infringing on their turf. An agreement was signed between the two factions prior to the event, a sort of treaty detailing the extent of ownership of the park between the two families. Earlier, a disagreement broke out between the two leaders. The treaty was then nullified, and the Richmond Defense Force was unaware of the change in the policy as the Sunset Mafia moved in on their side of the park. Citizens and non-members of the Defense Force suffered casualties, with the Sunset Mafia indiscriminately slaughtering any who stood in their way. The Richmond Defense Force was crippled with many losses, unable to fight back as they retreated temporarily. They later launched a counterattack against the Mafia in an attempt to claim back their land. Both suffered heavy losses, with no clear winner. The land continued to belong to the city, as it always had.
If you're going to San Francisco, be sure to wear some flowers in your hair. If you're going to San Francisco, you're gonna meet some gentle people there. For those who come to San Francisco.
Well, that's it. Thank you for tuning into Eagle News. My name's Nick.
I'm Matt.
And we are out of here.
I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright blessed day, the dark sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world.